Yo. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 9 of Views from Paulys podcast. I want to thank you guys for following me on this journey, man. Following us on this journey. We're slowly building it. This is the perfect place to come in for unfiltered commentary on, the upcoming Afrobeats industry, the music, new music, culture, comments on culture and stuff that's going on, viral topics based on entertainment, and culture. Let's say here. But anyway, we got a crazy, episode filled for you guys. You get me? We have this week in the culture. We've got some really good music, but outside the music, things got a little chaotic. They're from Sarz, revealing producers in Nigeria still don't get royalties, bro. Producers like Sarz was like, producers in Nigeria are still fighting to get their royalties. Then you have Kata Efe and Portable, doing their madness. Kata went to go see Portable because apparently his guy Kodu wanted him to. So much stuff, and then he just got into a whole thing. And then VDM calling out Tonto Dikeh for. I'm sorry for laughing. But VDM calling out Tonto Dikeh for saying that she delivered students a controversial evangelism video. That's the best thing I can say. So let's just get into it. For music, anyway, that's what we do here in Views from Paulys podcast. You get me? We're about the music team. Well, yeah, for music, anyway. We've got Kojo Black and Oxlade's Sailor. I really like the track, It's very melodic Afrobeat. It's a very melodic Afrobeat record. Smooth tempo, perfect late night club, slow club grind vibe, you know what I'm saying? When you're your baby girl, you're in the mood, in the club and then ones. It's actually a really nice tune. Kojo Black has great melodic delivery. He's really good. And the thing is, he's kind of like the other version of Oxlade. They kind of have the same vibe, but it was really good. And I think that's why Oxlade fits perfectly, on the emotional Afrobeat song. Because Oxlade is all about love, emotions, but he gives you that Afrobeat up-tempo vibe as well to dance to. So it was a perfect combo, him and Kojo Black on this. The drum pattern keeps it grounded in Afrobeat. Like, it was really nice. It didn't flow into R&B at all. They were able to keep it balanced, with the vocals sounding a bit R&B-ish, but the drums keeping it Afrobeat. And those drums are what usually differentiates a sound. If you're gonna say it's a piano Afrobeat, or if it's a regular hip hop or R&B sound. So it was really dope. The production was very simple but very effective. I really liked it. I really like the song. You guys go check it out. I think Afrobeat works best when melody leads the record for me. Because if you have a lot of melody, cool, harmonizing type vibes, you kind of get it. And as long as the beat, and then the beat as well, because we are Africans, we have this thing about the beat, especially the bars and the snare. It has to hit the right way, But yeah, I really like the record. Then number 2, I've got Nana Fofie. The name of the song is Where It Hurts. The Kojo Black and Oxlade song is Sailor. For those who didn't hear me, that's the name of the song. Why Nana Fofie? The song is Where It Hurts. It's a really nice song, slow emotional record, really strong vocal performance from Nana. I really like her voice. The song was about moving on from someone who hurt you. Obviously, production let the vocals shine for me. That's where and this was really vocal heavy song, and I really enjoyed it. Obviously, talking based off emotion in a very intimate record. Our female voices in Afrobeats often bring more vulnerability, actually, because the male vocals in Afrobeats, they usually go to more of a feel good vibe. A few of them really go into love and heartbreak, but the female voices in Afrobeat, that's where they usually are most of the time. With the love, the heartbreak. they do give us club bangers, feel good. But most times the female voices usually bring more vulnerability. Excuse me. Excuse me. The female voices usually bring more vulnerability to Afrobeat, and I really like that. This feels like a moment after heartbreak when you finally start healing. That's what really the song feels like, and I really like it because it's a unique vibe. most people, not a lot of songs, Afrobeat songs, really talk about the moment you're moving past someone and you're healing, and I really like that. It was a really, really good song. Nana Fofie, that was a really, really nice one. Lil Kesh came back with a track named Anini Thief. You know, I'm not gonna lie, that was a good one. That was a good name as well. Anini Thief, you know. It was a surprising sound. It was more like a hip hop 2000s R&B track. It didn't really, there was no Afrobeat vibe about it per se, you know. It was much calmer than traditional Lil Kesh songs when you have like high energy and fast tempo beats normally on Lil Kesh songs, but this was more slow and like not really Afrobeatish at all. You know, it was a love theme of someone stealing his heart. So maybe some baby girl or brother stealing my mind. You know, Tiff Lil Kesh hat. But you know, it was really, really dope. The production has a really nostalgic vibe. You know, it was really, really giving me that 2000s, you know, hip hop R&B vibe. You guys should really try that. Anini Thief is actually a really good song. Like, I'm going to give him another gunshot. Like, for real, that was a really dope song. You guys should try it out. Really, really good one. And it was so, obviously, it was a different sound than what we're used to hear from Lil Kesh. Because Lil Kesh, like I said, goes with the fast beat, Afro beat, you know, high tempo type songs. But it was really cool, mellow. Not something he does normally. So it was a really good sound. It was really good to hear that from him. You know, and it's really interesting to see. It's really interesting seeing artists step outside the sound that made them popular. Because yeah, like Lil Kesh, this was not the sound that made him popular at all. But it was really, really nice to see the evolution and see the growth. Then number 4, we've got Show Them Camp featuring Winnie Pele. Show Them Camp is a legendary group right in Afrobeats culture here in Nigeria and beyond. They've really done and gone beyond just the tag of Nigerian artists. They've been able to make collaborations with other artists on artistic ventures. I think Tech, one of the members of Show Them Camp, actually executive producer produced a TV show that actually won him a BAFTA award. So they're actually really doing good. But they came back with this track with Winnie called Pele, featuring Winnie. Obviously, it's the return of the 2 OG lyricists. You know, the reggae-inspired sound, which was actually a bit surprising, because I'm used to them having a bit of the alter but slow rap type of song, you know, and like palm wine music. That's what they used to call it. So you know, and it worked for them. It was really, really good vibe. You know, but this is a reggae inspired sound, which is actually unique and really, really nice. As you can tell, Lil Kesh went the R&B 2000s vibe, and here we have Show Them Camp giving us the reggae inspired sound. You know, Tech and Ghost are the main members of Show Them Camp. You know, they're still delivering sharp bars. Tech and Ghost are OGs in this, man. You know, beat has a calm, reflective vibe. Really, really dope. Winnie's vocals add emotional texture. Really, really smooth. And Show Them Camp have always they've always had an ear for vocals. Just like Tech, I think at some point worked with Thames. Tech actually worked with Thames, and he was able to pick out her voice. Obviously, know that she was amazing and tell that early. So he was worked with her as she grew in the industry. So that just goes to show you that these are people that really know the sound, the business, the industry, Afrobeats industry. And picking Winnie, I feel was a really good really good choice. Really, really dope. Some artists don't chase the sound of the moment. They just stay true to their identity, and this is what these guys have done. They've never tried to step out of their comfort zone per se, like try to chase a hit. They've always done what feels comfortable to them or what feels right, and you know, I rate them for that. It was a really, really good one. Then we have Jules, the OG producer, coming through with the track Feeling. Really, really dope one. Pure Amapiano vibe on this one. Designed for the club, no cap. You know, trumpet instrumentation, you know, makes it absolutely unique. The choir, and it had like a choir vibe, and it gave you that depth, you know, the one that gives you the goosebumps, you know, that your hair will be rising. That's the kind of vibe. You know, that's the kind of vibe that it gives, man. Like, you know, that nostalgic but full on, you know, club I'm a piano banger. You know, I really really like this one. You guys should go check it out. Juice caught one with this one. Feeling is a banger. You know, producers are now shaping the sound of African music. They always have. Actually, producers have always shaped the sound of African music. It's just we've had excellent artists who are able to capitalize on that and build the sound on what they want to do. But yeah, like that, I really like the track with Juice. Then we got Buff Daddy featuring Odumodu, 10 minutes. Woo! Yo, this 10 minutes track, nah boy. Buff Daddy obviously came through with his, you know, deep, hard hip hop. Yeah, if you guys watch his videos, you know what I mean. But yeah, it came with that vibe, and obviously Odumodu with a gritty grime. You know, basically a hard hip hop Afrobeat hybrid track, man. But like heavy on bass production. You get me? Odumodu continues his strong run as a bad boy. Odumodu black, my boy. That he continues his strong run, delivering bars, man. He's actually right now on tour in the States, not American tour. So you guys go check it out. Like, it's a mad thing, an aggressive rap delivery. From Buff Daddy and Odumodu. You can imagine the combination. Well, it's really, really good, man. Confident energy, you know, really, you know, about it. I really like the song. When you're in the gym, you don't want to giving them. You get me? Nah, I actually should go back gymming. I don't gym as much as I should, but yeah, you get what I mean. But it's a really, really dope track. I really like it. 10 minutes with Buff Daddy featuring Odumodu. Definitely. Nigerian rap is slowly, you know, regaining momentum, coming back. Obviously, this has happened since the emergence of Odumodu. He's slowly, you know, bringing Nigerian rap back again. For me, anyway, this has really happened since Odumodu's comeback, when, you know, it kind of died down after the time of MIDM. Rap wasn't really the thing anymore. It was more like Afrobeats, vocals, you know. But rap now is coming back proper, and I'm really excited for it. You get me? Now we're done with the music segment. Let's enter industry conversation. Now let's get into something serious happening in the industry. Sarz, while he was on a podcast, I think it's called Afropoly or something like that. Yeah, but Sarz on that podcast really, he made I watched most of it and I liked it, you know, but a statement he made really stuck out to me, which was when he said producers that he hasn't gotten any residual income in Nigeria from any music he's made. He's not. I was like, yo, for real? Like when he said that, I was like, nah, he's got to be playing. And kudos to the lady, the interviewers on the podcast, because she actually reaffirmed. She actually asked him again. She's like, are you saying that you still haven't gotten any? He's like, bruh, he's not gotten any residual income from any of the tracks he's done for anyone in Nigeria. Yo, do you guys understand how crazy that is? And it says obviously due to lack of industry structure and no proper transparency in the systems. So most of the times these artists just come and pay them up front, and what you get up front, better be happy with it. Because you're not going to hear from anybody again, and very few have, even if any, have gone back to give him any sort of residual income or anything. So that's basically what he said. You know, and then the discussion angles we can have, basically, producers create the sound of the industry, like I said, with the Juice track feeling, where, yes, producers, because producers are the ones that work this thing. Yes, the producers are the ones that work on these things. They're the ones that bring it together, that makes it sound amazing to our ears. So they know what we're trying to hear, what we're trying to listen to. Yes, the artist has a vision. The artist has an idea of how they want the song to be, how they want it to sound. But the producer really is the one that's going to tell you if it's going to work or not. Yes, the artist has moments where he or her moments where they are really adamant and it actually works. But that's, let's say, out of 100%, 30% of that works. 70% of the time, the producer is the one that lets you know what works and what you should expect and what sound you should be working on. So on that note, like where you have this kind of situation where Sarz is saying he's not gotten any residual income from any Nigerian track he's done, and this is Sarz. Do you understand how crazy that is? Like, that's absolutely insane, because the Nigerian music industry is one of the biggest industries out of Africa. So how can you imagine how heartbreaking it would be for a producer for it to have laced this beat up, giving it to this artist, the artist blows up, is touring across the whole world, and you only got like $10K for it. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at the idea of how ridiculous it is. You know, so it's quite sad, and many only receive one-time payments. You know, the thing about it is the international music industries operate with royalty systems. So if a producer drops a beat for you, yes, he's gonna get paid, but on the back end, he still has a right to royalties. Obviously, depending on how you guys come to an agreement or negotiate. But 9 times out of 10, the producer has rights, royalties, and rights to the music as well. It's really the beat of that music. So if you have that going on international standard, that this is the world norm, why is it Nigeria that artists are taking the piss and taking advantage of producers by only paying them one-time fees upfront, which most of the time is they are undervalued for, because most of them are not paid in dollars. Very few get paid in dollars. And even in dollars doesn't mean that's what your beat actually valued, because that song is going to blow up. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's quite disheartening, and it was quite sad and shocking for me to have heard Sarz say that he still has never received residual income from any track in Nigeria, and I don't blame him. That's why now he's actually singing. And when he said this thing, honestly, it made me realize that I was thinking, why a lot of producers, African Afrobeat producers, are now singing? Why? You know, Young John, you have Sarz, a few others, and then I realized that when he said this, I realized most likely because they are not getting paid what they are worth. And I realized that these songs that they are giving people that is blowing up, they can do it themselves, and it may blow up, but if it does, they'll get 3 times or 10 times the value of what they would have gotten if they were just being paid peanuts. So I don't blame him, man, but that's just the industry right now. And this is bringing me back to a couple of episodes ago, when I was talking about the fact that we need to have our own structures in Nigeria, in Africa, and stop relying on Western institutions to validate our music and give us structure of what to expect on earnings or awards. Because if you have a situation where we actually have structure in our own African, if you have a situation where we have our own African institutions, which gives us structure in the entertainment industry, it makes it easier for producers in general to be able to say, I'm collecting royalties, or whatever, that at least you are valued way better if we have our own structure. We need to do this, guys. It's quite sad to hear Sarz say this, man, but at least now we know why most producers are performing or coming out and doing their own tracks instead of just giving away the beats. Get me? But man, that's just sad. Yeah. But now we're talking about drama, a bit of controversy with the industry, with Sarz not getting his royalties. Now we've got drama on the culture segment with Kata Efe and Portable. Man, this is just two crazy people. Two crazy people met. So Kata Efe and Portable had a situation, an altercation, where the breakdown is Kata Efe pulled up to Portable's bar at Portable's area where he lives. He has a bar there where he also does his business. And allegedly Kata pulled up with some military personnel, and there are reports of shots fired in the air after he pulled up. And after the shots were fired in the air, Portable and his guys went to find out what was going on, and they pulled up and they saw Kata. Then they had an altercation where Portable was really pissed off that, why are you coming to my ends, with your soldier, whatever, lacing up bullets in the air. And then obviously Portable, Kata was just saying, he's just coming to come and heal. Portable is nothing, but Portable was really on him, man. Portable was really on the guy, throwing him a bit slaps, but none of them connected that I saw anyway. It was just swinging his hands in the air. And then it actually escalated to the situation where the police were involved, and the police actually detained Kata Efe and his team. The police detained Kata Efe and his team till some other individual had to step in and negotiate the whole situation between Kata and Portable. So for those who don't know Portable is a musician in Nigeria. He's pretty big. He's dropped a couple of singles that have gone really huge for him. And Kata Efe himself was an artist who dropped a really big track called Mashallah. But then after that he went cold, and now he's turned to a full-blown streamer. He's doing really, really great with that. And he's got a lot of viral moments. So this is one of his viral moments, I guess. But him and Portable apparently have a bit of bad blood, because Kolu, who is signed to Kata now, apparently was signed to Portable at some point. So That's why Portable says he got really upset when he saw Kata, and he felt like Kata was disrespecting him or whatnot, and that's what escalated the whole thing. Apparently, Portable even sees Kata's streaming cameras. But the thing now about it is this actually genuine, or is this just some viral moment? Because like even when I watched the video, like Katafi was laughing most of the time, so it didn't seem like it was something that was actually that aggressive. Or it could be because like he was a bit worried and wanted to like calm things down, but it didn't come across to me as something that was actually genuinely a problem between both of them. And so it comes across like, okay, content creators are trying to chase viral moments, which is fun, but after some time it gets old. It's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. But then you also have a situation where content becomes real life conflict, because something that started like play and then all of a sudden it turned into a real problem. It was Kolu actually dropped a video a couple of days ago where he started addressing Portable, calling Portable out and saying he never helped him, that he brought him from Ogun or something to Lagos and sent him back, or from Abuja to Lagos and had him sent back to Abuja for whatever reason, and it was someone else that brought him back to Lagos before he now got the opportunity to link up with Kata, and then everything happened from there. So he's even going in on Portable saying, yo, we just came to come and hail you. I convinced Kata to come through, let's go say hello. Obviously, seeing as you did actually help me, or try to help me earlier on. So that's where Kolu is coming from. So you have a situation where content creators are chasing viral moments, which is true, and this might have been one of them, but then it might be something that might spill into real life conflict where someone is feeling some type of way. So it's one of the two things you get, because we had a situation where Kata and Pele were bashing cars that E-Money gave them. Yeah, E-Money gave them some cars, and 26 cars, and they bashed it for viral content. They went back to apologize. E-Money gave one another car and gave the other one £5,000 to fix his car. So, I think that was probably for content. But the problem is when you're doing stuff like that for content, even though you have people who are accepting of it, when you now have situations like this where there may actually be real life conflict, you're not sure what's real or not, because here I am saying Kata was smiling, which he was smiling sometimes all through the whole thing. He bits and pieces, you see him like laughing and saying, yo, Portable, stop. So I don't even know what's real. So this kind of situation, man, social media clout culture is kind of making it hard to detect what is real and what's not, what's for content and what's actually real life conflict, So I guess at the end of the day, sometimes people just forget that real life isn't content. You have stuff that goes on in real life that you don't want out there, or you're not trying to just do it for content, which is the same thing that I would say with Odumodu and Blackbone's situation. Blackbones was trying to make use of the issue they had, or they have, into a whole beef commercial thing. Now Odumodu was like, nah bro, I'm not playing that with you. Like, I'm not trying to have this kind of situation on some beef commercial thing. When I see you, I see you. So yeah, it is. I guess at the end of the day, it is up to the individual. But this is what we have going on now in culture. People chasing viral content and all that just to make some bucks. At the end of the day, I guess it's what makes you happy. But just understand that the boy who cried wolf is real. If that's the right way to put it. Still on Kata FA, Kata dropped some comments about Wizkid. Apparently, he has said Wizkid didn't give him anything after he dropped that single Mashallah, which was like a single like hailing Wizkid, or saying how much he admires Wizkid type vibe. So he went off about how he never got anything from Wizkid. It was really broke that period, and I was like, I felt that sounded very entitled. Like, how's it Wizkid's business if you decide to sing a song about him? You decide to sing a song about Wizkid. He did not call you and say, yo, Kata, sing this song about me. He didn't. You did it, and now all of a sudden he's meant to give you big ups. No, you did it, so that's your business. It falls on you. If he decides to do anything he wants to do, it's up to him. But obviously he didn't. But at the same time, I'm not sure if he did or not, because DJ Tunes, who is Wizkid's personal DJ, posted up after Kata dropped his top comments on Honest Bunch. Posted up that, yo, we actually brought you up out to my show, brought you up on stage and you performed. So DJ Tunes, I think, is trying to say that if Whiskey did not okay it, he would not have brought Kata Efe up on stage to perform that martial art song. So that just goes to show that actually, sometimes, you know, some people might just be trolling and might not be real. But Kata Efe is known for trolling celebrities. You know, sometimes it's funny, sometimes unnecessary. But at this point, I think this particular topic that he had about Wizkid on Honest Bunch podcast, I felt was absolutely unnecessary. Internet culture thrives of controversy, and I think that's what he was going for, because Wizkid doesn't owe you anything just because he sang his song. And then what's up? DJ Tunes even brought you on stage, bro. You get me? So, and that they've even done above and beyond, because at that point, bringing you on stage on the Wizkid show, that's giving you you know, engagement, letting you have their fans hearing your music, pushing you out there. You get more money from that. So even though he didn't give you bread hand to hand, but he gave you an opportunity to make more bread, to get known by more people. Your song probably, yes, was heard, but as you go on that stage, more people heard it. People who wouldn't have heard it, or maybe if they heard it, never knew it was you. So I feel like that was quite wrong. Internet culture, like I said, thrives on controversy, but that was an unnecessary statement. And I feel Kata Efe owes Wizkid an apology for saying something like that. Like, he doesn't owe you anything. You did this based off what you wanted to do. You sang a song because you wanted to sing a song about Wizkid. What you wanted to do is your business, and upon that, they gave you an opportunity to earn. Yes, they might not have given you cash, like I said, but they put you out there, made you bigger. You know, made you have a bigger presence, at least among his fans. So I feel that was quite disrespectful to Wizkid. I'm talking about more controversy. While in VDM, look, I know. I'm not like, I don't have no problems with VDM, man. This is my podcast. It's about commentary on new music, Afrobeats culture, and culture in general. You know, entertainment. Even though we're strictly entertainment, we'll talk about culture. And but whether you like it or not, VDM is part of the culture in Nigeria entertainment scene right now. So if he does something that I feel is within the entertainment scene, I will comment on it. He does a lot of political commentary, but this podcast isn't about politics. You know, I might have my opinion on that or whatnot, but that's not what I'm going to bring on here. But if it goes into the musical lane or dealing with other media personalities or celebrities, or you know, or commenting on them, then you know I would comment on that, because that's culture, that's entertainment. You know, not like. But politics is very important, but unfortunately that's not what I cover on this podcast, and that's just it. I just want to give us, you know, everyone has their lane that they do. He does that, and I do this on the entertainment scene, and he does that on the, you know, NGO and politics scene, which is absolutely amazing. Everyone has their lane that they comment on, but this is my lane, and I'm going to comment on, you know, on VDM and Tonto Dikeh. So basically, Tonto Dikeh, for those who don't know, Tonto Dikeh is a veteran Nollywood actress who became big as an actress, like I said, an actress, you know, sorry, excuse me. And she became really famous. She's had a lot of controversial situations online, from her divorce to her ex-husband to a lot of back and forth with different people. So she's known for being really fiery and aggressive to an extent, you know. But she recently came out that she's given her life to Christ, and she's turned over a new leaf, and she's now an evangelist. So this is where VDM had an issue with Tonto Dikeh. So Tonto Dikeh posted a video evangelizing in a school, which apparently VDM had renovated a few years back. So the video showed her praying for a child and claiming that she had cast out a demon from the child. Now VDM criticized the whole situation. You know, he said she should not be telling poor children that their struggles are caused by demons, or trying to make them feel like, oh, the reason their parents are not rich is because of them or whatnot like that. And also suggested that she should go and help the rich. If she wants to cast out demons, she should go and cast out demons from rich children or cast out demons from her own child. I'm sorry, this is what he said, not me. Or rather, he should go and help her own child, not cast out demons, excuse me. He should go and help her own child. You know, she said she should focus on empowerment, not spiritual blame. So not just him, there's a lot of backlash from the online community about this video. A lot of people were talking about her nails, how long her nails were while she was praying for the young girl, and some criticized the appearance and, you know, the presentation of the video, saying, yo, like, you know, she's just doing it for clout. A lot of things were said, you know. And so Tonto replied, basically saying that she thanks God for using her You know, she stands by her faith and her actions. She's just praying and thanking God. You know, I really don't know how I feel about this topic per se, because number one, God says we should not judge. That's number one. You know, we can't judge God's servants. That's between them and God to judge. We can't even judge in general. But then we do have discussion angles where you can say religion against social responsibility, because this is someone who has not had the best reputation, for being honest. No disrespect to Tonto, but she's always been every time she's gone viral, most times she's gone viral has been for controversial situations, when she was going back and forth with her ex-husband Churchill, you know, different situations. So it's never really been a good look for Tonto. So when she came out saying she's an evangelist now and she's changed her life, there are a lot of, you know, people who didn't believe it, and then you have her doing this now, you know, putting up to the school and, you know, laying your hands on the girl, saying you casted out demons from her. It's just not a very good look, man. Yes, this religion, and it's very important for us to recognize and respect everyone's religion, you know. But when you've been perceived a type of way, especially on the internet, I do feel you have a responsibility as to how you present yourself, because you have a message you're trying to send. So you know that yes, you're serving God, and you understand that you've not had the best reputation. So I think that's what should give you an idea that, okay, just maybe people might not really listen to the message just because of my previous actions. So I should kind of do a different thing on my look. Maybe that might convince them a bit more. That's just what I'm saying. You know, I'm not saying, you know, you have to look at some type of way to serve God. No, I'm just saying if you've been looked at or perceived a type of way, right? You want to change your look so you not be perceived that way if you say you've changed. That's what I believe anyway. But you know, she's still rocking them long nails, long wig, you know, all of them. So VDM is there saying, I beg, I don't want you around my children. Oh man, it's sad but the truth. I think you have a situation where you have influence of celebrities in vulnerable communities, especially in this period of elections. Things are very, very touchy at the moment. So anything any celebrity does is going to be looked at with a magnifying glass. Especially VDM will be looking at you. So you have to be very, very careful, especially if you're sort of tied to any sort of political party, because you're going to have a lot of backlash and comments on your behavior, and social media is going to amplify it, especially when it's a sensitive issue like religion. Religion is something that we know has been used on to prey on the masses for years, especially during time of elections. So a lot of Nigerians are really, really sensitive when we see our celebrities use religion to garner support or any other thing, especially during this election period. So it's actually understandable. And the thing is this: faith is very important to many people, you know, but when influential figures engage vulnerable communities, the conversation becomes more complicated, like I said. So it's all about knowing that, okay, we have religion, but it's all about the celebrities knowing that they have religion. That is true, they worship this person, but they also have a social responsibility because they are public figures. So due to the fact that they're public figures, they have to go above and beyond to be able to explain their actions so that they will not receive any backlash. Unfair as it is, yes, but that's why they earn the big bucks. So when situations like this come about, they have to go above and beyond. If they're normal human being, like, you know, any other person, I won't say Michelle because I'm going to be a celebrity. Yeah. You get me? That will be the thing, you know. So I'm not trying to put myself in that, but I'm going to be careful too. But with a regular person that does that, they don't really have to care about what they do. You just go and pray and they'll leave. Really, I won't comment on it. But because it's so Tonto Dikeh, she has no choice. So once you're a public figure, you have to be more careful about. You have to be very careful about what you do, because your actions are going to be perceived in different ways, regardless of what your intentions were. Now we're going to gossip Mill Niger, aka I think it's called Ponito or something like that, against VDM. So these two guys, VDM. So excuse me, let me get a breakdown the backstory. Gossip Mill is a popular blogger in Nigeria and across Africa, most likely outside the country, because he covers a lot of topics. You know, makes things go viral. He has a lot of pages on Instagram, Twitter. Just a really famous blogger, basically. And he and VDM they were actually set up as very good friends. But then when the owner of this Gossip Mills Nigeria decided to come out and, you know, expose himself as the owner, he and VDM had a little bit of an issue, where apparently he felt VDM was coming at him or a bit jealous because of all he's made and secured, and VDM was like not comfortable with the fact that he was going to be known for his face and not just a page now. So they threw shots between each other back and forth, but it kind of died down after a while. And then now Gossip Mill again has come at VDM, and he posted up a video. He posted up a picture of VDM, you know, where he was like, they should not listen to this ignorant beep fool. You know, he was like, they shouldn't listen to him, and basically he's not supporting anyone else apart from APC. I bring this up, this is not a political podcast, I bring this up because it's two entertainment figures, personalities going at it. So you know, Gossip Mill used really aggressive language against VDM, calling him all sort of words, all kind of words. And the funny thing is, I've not heard VDM come back at Gossip Mill. That's the weird ass thing, because normally VDM would have gone down, but maybe he will bring up a video now and then, but he has not said anything, which is really weird. But anyway, Gossip Mill was like, yo, he's supporting Peter Obi and Sowore, and he's always said that, so he doesn't know where VDM is getting his information from. But the main thing about it is toxicity of Nigerian social media debates is becoming really, really bad. You know, bloggers against activists, against influencers. You have VDM against Kigmichi now, Gossip Mills against VDM. And it's just going crazy, man. It feels like at the end of the day, it's controversies that are driving everything, because I really don't understand. But in terms of Gossip Mills situation, I can understand when you're upset with someone portraying something that you never said, or someone lying on your name, or saying you said something that you never said, especially when that person has a huge platform to be able to reach the masses and influence your character, you know, by their words. So Gossip Mill is obviously upset if VDM went around saying that, yo, this man is Gossip Mill is owned by APC or whatnot, which is the political party, or the ruling political party right now in Nigeria. He's obviously upset about that. He's like, I never said that. I don't know why you put that out there, you know. And he goes at VDM, really insulting him, you know. And in the comment section, you have VDM fans who are fully behind VDM, which is understandable. But I would hope that fans are not being fans blindly, you know. Don't just be a sheep. You have to be able to think for yourself. You get me? VDM is great, but he's a human being. Anyone can make mistakes. So VDM, my guy, you're not really my guy, I don't know you, but I'm just calling you my guy in general. I would advise you to actually, bro, be careful about how you move, because the same people that are bigging you up, your fans that are loving you, bro, if you crash, if you come down, if they one day that you do something wrong and someone comes at you and you're actually wrong, bro, these same fans not them go abandon you. This is your rattle, they will leave you, bro. So just move smart about whatever you're doing. That's all I have to say on that. You get me? So that's my own on VDM and Gossip Mill. Like, it's right now, it's just controversy everywhere. I mean, I'm glad I'm covering it for my podcast. Well, yeah, it's just good to watch. I would hope everyone gets together, all love, one love everywhere. But you know, the media space right now is very competitive, and unfortunately, I think people don't understand that this is big enough for everybody to eat from. Like, this cake just started in Nigeria, Africa. Over there, across the pond, they're already sharing the cake massively, but people are still eating till today. And just to talk more about us who just started here in Nigeria, media personalities, this is big enough for all of us to eat from. So I don't know what the issues are, but like, I'm just loving it. I have topics to cover. But anyway, we're going on the final topic on this episode 9, which basically is I had come across a Twitter question. A question on Twitter where a user had asked a question like, what experience made you appreciate your parents more? So for me, like, yeah, there are a lot of experiences that have made me or have made me appreciate my parents more. you've got from growing older and understanding sacrifices to paying bills yourself and realizing how much your parents protected you from the world. All this are very true and more. But for me, I'm going to give you a bit more personal. I'm going to give you guys a couple of, like, 1 or 2 stories. The second one might get my dad in trouble. But I'll tell you the first one. Right? This one I really appreciated my parents, man. My dad, particularly. So I was a student in the University of Benue State. I was a student in the law faculty on the University of Benue State, right? Benue State University is a state university in Nigeria. So I was there for 3 years. Dropped out my 3rd year. So this is why I say I'll say the story. So my mom became the vice chancellor of the university in my 2nd year. For those who know what that means, like, how big a thing that is. Especially if you're a child of the VC, in the school, like that's like the child of the president of the country, kind of. I was just trying to give you guys an example. But yeah, so in the university anyway. But yeah, so my 3rd year, after my mom had become VC, there was just a lot of rubbish that was going on. Actually, from my 1st year to my 3rd year, a lot of rubbish went on. A lot of stuff with my result, a lot of unnecessary pressure. People trying to meet me, like so many things. Like, I don't want to go into too much detail, but the main thing about this gist is, in my 3rd year, I was in class. I remember commercial law class with a lecturer at the time, Mr. Fianca, and we're in this really massive hall which has like ascending stairs, and like once you go up the stairs, you kind of like go to your seats that you're assigned. So I was up at like the last or 2nd seat, give or take, but up the stairs, like up. I say this for a reason. So while the lecturer at the time was giving his lecture and talking about different things, I was wearing my white and black, which is required by every law faculty in Nigeria. Requires all students to wear white and black, and a black tie for men or women sometimes, depending on how they want to be, how stringent they want to be. But mostly men wearing black and white with black ties, under hot sun and heat. I'm just saying that for a reason. So, I'm in this classroom and it's hot. I'm sweating. I've got my tie and everything, and I'm so irritated. At that time, I've been blessed, I'm fortunate enough to be traveling out as a kid. And my dad was really in the country during that period, so I had to travel out the country, to go chill with him. We'll do family trips and all that. But anyway, I think I just come back into the country not too long before that happened in uni. I digress, but I say that for a reason. So when I was back into the country, that's when I had the 3rd term, 3rd semester or whatnot. Or rather my 3rd year, 1st semester. Correct. So I'm sorry, it's been a long time, so I'm a bit whatever on the details. When it was my 3rd year, 1st semester, so I was in class. I just got back in the country. I was having my classes, law faculty, like I said, commercial law, and I was really, really irritated, sweaty, or whatnot. So my best friend at the time, Jesse, was sitting next to me, and while I was in the classroom, I just kind of told Jesse, I was like, "Look, bro, like I'm done with this. Like I can't do this teaching, this schooling thing anymore, man." Jesse was like, "Bro, are you crazy? What do you mean? Like, Paul, stop this rubbish." I was like, "Bro, I'm done, man. Like, I'm not playing." he thought I was joking. So I stood up from my seat and I put my bag on, sling my bag over my shoulder. I started walking down the stairs to get to the to where the teacher was teaching, so I could access the door and walk out. Because there was no doors at the back. It's just literally you have to walk down the stairs and go out. Like I said, it's an ascending building, if that makes sense. Ascending stairs, if that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, so I'm walking down the stairs and the lecturer is going on, talking. And he sees me walking down the stairs and it's like, "Angia, where are you going to?" That's my surname, Paul Angia Jr. So he calls me my surname, Angia, where are you going to? Now, obviously, my mom is the vice chancellor of the university, so they kind of know who I am, my family and whatnot. So I'm like, I'm done. Literally, that's what I said. I was like, I'm done with this. So like, "You're done? What do you mean you're done?" Like, I was like, actually, I'm not doing this schooling thing here anymore. Yo, I'll never forget. And he was like, what do you mean you're not doing this schooling thing? It's because your mom is the vice chancellor. I was like, no sir, I'm actually just done. So at that time, I started going to school with security for other reasons that I'll explain down the line if necessary. But whenever I used to go to school, I have to go with security. And the officer was in front of the classroom door waiting for me to be done my classes. So when he saw what was going on, he peeped his head and he was like, okay, what's going on? I was like, oh no, it's fine. So obviously the lecturer had to let me go. So I walk out of the classroom, and I'm in the car park, and everything. I put my bags in the car. I call my dad, and this is why I say I really appreciate my dad. I really appreciate my parents. This moment made me appreciate my parents. So I call my dad, and I'm like, yo, I'm done with this school thing. My dad was like, done with what school thing? I was like, I'm done with this whole school thing. I'm tired. I don't want too much stress. They're failing my results. Because, but I said, are you done with school or you're just done with schooling in Nigeria? I said, I'm done with schooling in Nigeria. Long story short, 3 weeks after that, 3 weeks a month after that, I was in the States chilling. A couple of weeks after being in the States for a while, I moved to the UK and I started school. So the big ups my dad, man, that was one of the dopest moments I've had. My dad's been a real one so many times. But I just wanted to pick that out because that's one of the light things I can say, because nah. And then for my mom, I had so many experiences that have made me appreciate my mom, but I would say one of the major ones has been when I started this podcast, because it's not been easy, guys, trust me. Doing this, the funding, pushing it, all that, but she's come through. She's never made me feel less than. None of my parents have. They've always supported me. You get me? I'm a Nigerian guy in an African home with braids, bro. In Nigeria, I'm not out of the country, but my parents are so supportive. As long as what you do makes sense, and that really, really touched me, because they could have been like, yo, you've got a law degree, you've got so much going on. Why would you take this path? To do a podcast, to go into media? But really, she's been so supportive. She's been my backbone. Her and my dad, they've been extremely supportive about everything. So I just wanted to highlight those two experiences that made me really, really appreciate my parents. I really, really love them. So many things have happened, but those two are really the ones I think I can kind of share. Over time, probably maybe more questions come out, I might share a few more, but those are the two really dope experiences I've had. That I just thought I should share with you guys, that has made me really appreciate my parents. Sometimes you don't fully appreciate your parents until life starts teaching you the same lessons they were trying to teach you. That's true, but I've had those situations. But the main thing for me has always been the support I've gotten from my parents, regardless of what it's been, so many times. And I don't love them, man. So Barrister Paul Tabishima Anga and Charity Ashima Anga, I love you guys. Thank you very much, mom and dad, for everything. This episode closing, you get me. We're ending episode 9. Can't wait to see you guys in episode 10. But right now, I want you guys to tell me which of the favorite songs you like from the ones I spoke about, that I listened to all week. And tell me your thoughts on the topic, man. Let me know what your favorite experience with your parents has been that made you appreciate them. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. This has been Views from Paulys Den, episode 9. Please like, share, subscribe. You get me, comment down below. Once you do all this, bro, I get into the algorithm and more people can view my videos. Don't be stingy. Stop keeping me to yourself. Get me, share me. Get me, share. Thank you guys for viewing. Thank you guys for watching. I can't wait to see you guys on the next episode. It's your humble host, Paul Imote Ange Jr. See, I'm about to give you guys my full government name. Paul Imote Jr. Paul Imote Ange Jr.